So now see, I have started. I'm running Policy Center from my from here. You see that, right? I'm running it from the server, right, from the studio. Now let's say if I don't want to do it here, then how do I do it? Is I'll close the server here. So before you close, and one more thing, before you close the studio, right? Always close the server for either from here or here. Okay, close the server and then you come out from the studio. Right? Go to File and then click Exit here. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's say if I don't want to run the studio and want to make the Policy Center up, how do I do that? So here you just need to run one command, gwb dev and hyphen start. Okay. Now I'm running this command, so it will directly start my server. I don't need to even open my studio. So I'm going to ping you this. One second. So I'm going to ping you this command. This command you can run. I mean, it's so both the options you have now. What you want to choose, same thing. But studio, if you open, it will take some time. There a lot of compilation happens and all those things. So if you want to avoid those things, right, you can directly run the server from the command prompt itself. But it should be in admin mode. Huh? This is mandatory. The command prompt should be in admin mode. Now it will run here. You will see my studio will be now. I'm not running any studio. You see that no, there is no studio running in my local. But once this is success, I will be able to start my Policy Center by using this command. Yeah, just wait for some time. Okay, so the setup all is everything is done. That's good. Now I think you can start. Whatever is covered in the session, you can try by your own every day. Yeah, that's good actually. Now here, yeah, actually we started this session, the policy transactions, and we covered the theoretical part of it. So today we will see we'll start with the summation part here, that how these code transactions are created in the system. So those things we will see today in Policy Center. Let me start my server here and see that. It will take some time, and then let us start, and then we'll see this. So in policy transaction, theoretically, I mean, you, both of you, anybody has any doubt on these transactions? We are going to see this in detail now. In every class, we will see this about these transactions, and these are very very important actually. See if I so what all things we have seen: renewal, cancellation, reinstatement, rewrite, midterm rewrite. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I think we saw in the last class. I think we saw cancellation, reinstatement, and rewrite, and then not midterm rewrite, right? Okay, so let me explain this. What is this midterm rewrite? So rewrite, first of all, I told you, right? A rewrite we perform when there are changes which cannot be performed through policy change. Then what underwriters or agent they do is they perform the rewrite. But the rewrite also, there are two or three types. There are full rewrite, there are midterm rewrite, or there are I mean, there are three types of rewrite basically. And there is something called as remainder of terms. So this one midterm rewrite means now you have I mean, we have taken a policy for 1 year, 1 year term, like here to here there's a 1 year term, and in the middle of the term you decided that I don't want to continue the same policy contract. I mean, whatever policy contract I have for this year, I'm not happy with that, and I don't want to continue with the same contract. So now here you come back here after, let's say, 4 months, and then you ask your agent that I want to change the contract. That you say that no, I want to change the. There are few things. Let's say I want to change the effective date of my policy, or I want to change my agent. Basically, there are changes which cannot be performed through policy change here. Now, after 3 or 4 months, they will say, "Ma'am, we cannot do that. We cannot make the change because it is not possible through the policy change." So, if you want, we can do the we can do the rewrite. I mean, whatever term is left, right? Let's say after 3 months you decided, and 7 months is still left. So after 7 months, whatever changes you want in your same policy term, and if it is not possible through policy change, what they will do is they'll perform a rewrite for you. So this remainder term, basically, they will do the complete rewrite. So here you see that, no, here this was the policy term, and when they do the rewrite, right, what will happen is, in this particular term they can make any changes here. They can even change your policy number. It depends whether you want the same policy number or not. If you say no, I don't want the same policy number whatever I had earlier, then they can change the policy number also. There is one option in Guidewire. You can select you want the same policy number or not in the rewrite. If you say no, they will give you a new policy number. And then if you want to change the expiry date also, generally when you take a contract from effective date to expiry date, in any other transaction you cannot change the expiry date. But in case of rewrite, they can change your expiry date also. They can define, they will start a rewrite from a date. First of all, before any rewrite transaction, they have to cancel the current contract. So they will have to perform the cancellation. Once the cancellation is done, then only the rewrite can happen. So they will cancel the term, and then what they will do is they will perform a rewrite on the current transaction. And then whatever new changes you want, or whatever new contract you want to sign, basically you do that. And then if you want to change the expiry, they can change the expiry date also. So this, you see that, no, the contract was earlier here until here, and now after rewrite they have given you some extension also here to the expiry of the contract here. So this one we call it as a midterm rewrite. So midterm rewrite is a portion of original term allow you to rewrite the policy and the end date and new date. So it's the same thing they are saying here. If you want to replace the original terms and conditions and want to make some changes, you can go with the rewrite also here. Now, oh sorry, it was okay. So you see that now here, now it says that my policy center server is running. Once you get this message in your command prompt, you directly go to your browser, come here, and just type same thing I told you, right? HTTPS. Sorry, center. Yeah, this is a policy center, right? So you directly come here and you will see my server, my policy center. You see that, right? Now I do not have any studio running, but my policy center is up and running because I started the server from command prompt itself. So studio generally it takes a lot of memory also, and it takes a lot of time for file processing, all those things. So if you want to really want to access the policy center, you directly access through the command prompt then. Okay. Now what we will do is, first we will log in with an underwriter. Now, first thing is, after we log into Policy Center, before we create any policy, I told you, right, we have to create one first the account for the customer. Without the account, we cannot create any policy transaction. So a free policy transaction will be created under a account. Okay, so how do we create an account? First is you, you go to the account section here, come here, and then there is something called as a new account right here. So click on new account first. Once you click on new account, you won't see the new account. You see that, no? Here you won't see any new account button here. This is just a search, right? Here there is no option to create a new account. There is no button and all. So what Guidewire suggests is, you cannot directly create the new account. What they are recommending is, if the accounts are already there, whatever account you are trying to create, if there is a already account matching with the detail, then you use the same account. You do not create a new account. But let's say whatever details you are entering, the customer detail you are entering, if that customer account is not created in the system, then you create a new account. So what we will do is, we will just try with first name, last name, something we search, and we will assume that this account is not there currently. Okay. Now if I search, you see that, no, this account was not there. There's no search result I got, and it says that, and let's say if I search with Ray Newton, okay, there is an account exists with Ray Newton. You see that, no, there is an account exists right here. There's an account. So what Guidewire basically they are saying is, instead of creating a new account, if you want to use the same account, because this customer is already there in the system, so do not create a new account. You, if it is already there, then use this. If it is not there, then you create. But this is an optional thing from Guidewire. It is not necessary you have to take this account. Even though this customer is there, you can create a new account also. You see that, no, there is a new button here. There are 2 3 options we get. One is company, one is person, and one is from address book. So address book means you can search this person from the address book. From the policy center contact, whichever contacts are already created, you can fetch this person from there. Person contact, it's an individual account we are creating. Let's say if the individual person comes, they want to take the policy, then we create the person account. Company account mean when the corporate customer comes, right? And when they want to take the policy for their corporate business, then we create the company account here. So here mainly, I mean, we will go with the person account first. Okay, so we'll create the we'll take the policy for the individual customer. So I have already. I mean, if you want to actually create the proper data, there is a site here called fake something fake person generator. This is a US website. So I use this to get the data. But if you want, you can use this. But if you can put enter any detail, there's no restriction that you need to enter the data. But I'll take this customer. I already copied the detail here. So I'm going to create this person account here in Guidewire.
This from address book means from your
From
contact list.
address, yeah, from address book means here. Yeah, correct. So here, from address book, what happens is it will you see that no, this is the contact. This will search from the contact. I mean from the address book. Whatever contact you create in policy center, it gets stored into a address table. Okay, any person. So if this
Okay.
person is already there, you can search from here. Let's say if I search with Ray Newton, you see that no, I can see this person. Okay. So I can,
So
if
it
I
will
select
allow to
this,
create again another account for the same person.
yeah, correct. It will allow, yes. It will allow it. I mean, so what will happen is, and I mean, it will create a unique ID and it will allow you. It will not. So you see that no, I selected this person and all the detail got auto populated right here. You see that,
Oh.
right? Yeah. One second. Okay. What happened? One second. No? So just give me 1 minute. I think some. Okay, fine. Now I'll cancel it. So I mean, we will go with the new person. Okay, first. Then existing person you have already seen, right? How do we create? But we'll go with the new person first.
Yeah.
So this person is, let's say, consider this person is not there in the system now. Okay. Now you fill all the mandatory details are required. If you don't enter, it will on click of update, you will get an error. You see that no? If it is not enter, then you will get an error if the mandatory fields are not filled up. Then what do we have? The address we need. I will put the address, and we need the. Okay, we'll create an account for California. California. Zip code also. Zip code. Then what do we do is we will create the home address. This is a home address. City, you enter something. Okay, I'll enter the city. And what is left? The person phone number, the mobile number will enter. We'll enter the mobile number and then we'll enter the primary address. Brent dot Williams dot com. That's dot com. Now we'll enter the SSN number also. But whatever standard formats are there. Let's say if Guidewire is saying that you have to enter, this is some kind of validation they have. I mean, so
Yeah.
if they ask you to enter the format into this format, you have to enter into this format. If you don't enter, it will give an error.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the standard format because SSN cannot be in other format. Or like let's say your phone number, right? Your phone
Hmm.
number also it cannot be in other format. You see that no here they are clearly giving a instruction that this is a US regional format and you have to enter into. They are giving one example also here that in which format you have to enter. If you don't enter, they won't allow. They won't accept it. Now here, now what we have done is I told you right before you create any account, we have to enter the customer details. So we have entered. Okay. Now now we have to select which agent is going to take this policy. So we have to select the agent also of this account. Okay. Any agent will create this account first. But if the underwriter is also creating, then also they have to enter the agent here. So there is an agent search here. You may not be able to get the agent in your local. I'll tell you why. So what you do is, here you need to search one agent here. So just type A here and you will get one this thing, agent detail here. So I'll enter this agent agency, okay, here.
Mm.
So not directly agent you will not enter, you will enter the agency, and in the agency which all agent you want to select, that agent it will be allowed. So first we selected the agency. In this agency, which all agents are there, you will see in the drop down, and that agent ID. So this is basically the producer ID. Okay, so this agent, then
Mm.
you have to select the agent here. So
Okay.
so this one is there, and this one, and then once now all the mandatory details are entered. Now I'll say update. Okay, you see that no, once my account is created here, but it says that billing is not available because this just account, this is just created. Okay, we have not created any policy transaction for this. So for, I told you, right, I mean, when I explained the definition of account, account can individually be created without any policy transaction. It may not have any policy transaction. So first we need to create the account. So once you create the account, you see that you can see your producer detail here. You can see what, who is the yeah. So once you create the account, this automatically, this guy will become the policy holder. Okay, so he's the owner of the account now, and this guy has a role called policy holder here. You see that right here in Guidewire. Related contact, nothing we added, and billing we will get once we create some policy transaction. Here, this one you leave it. They have some delinquency plan in billing center, so that we will see later. And currently there is no claims on this account. There is no policy transaction created on this account. There are no terms also created because we have not created any policy transaction yet. So this is basic account information we see here. If I go to the contact section right here, you will see this guy, right? He's active member, and this guy, this role is very important. This guy is the policy holder of this account right here. And
Mm.
then or other details we can see here in the contact section of this account. Now underwriting, no, there is no pending underwriting. Now we have the account right here. The account is created. Once the account is created, and one more thing. So I mean, till the time she joins, right? I will show you one more thing. This agent I selected, right? The agent you may not get because you have to do the load. You have to do the sample data load because this agent's things are loaded into system by the sample data in the OOTP product. Okay. So what you have to do in that case is you have to type one command called all shift and T. One okay. Problem in browser. I'm not able to go there. This is a minute. I'll just close this and open the browser again. Yeah. Okay, so there is a command to remember. Okay, shift, shift plus alt and plus T. Okay, this command you need to type. Together you need to type this command. So I'll show you one more time. So you come to Policy Center right here. Now once you log in, you
Mm.
would enter Shift Alt and T together. Then it will take
Mm.
you to the admin mode. So this is the administrator mode. Generally,
Mm.
user, I mean, normal users or underwriters or agent, they will not have access to the admin mode. Very few
Mm.
people they will have access to come to admin mode. Okay, when they come to
Mm.
admin mode, you go to internal tools. Here there's something called as PC sample data. Okay, you come here, and there are different type of sample data that you want very small data. I mean, like small data, you want free text, you want small and large. So I generally prefer to use the small data. In small data, what all things will be loaded. So Guidewire already has provided the sample data load. So if once you click on load, what will happen is some sample account policy and the producer will get loaded in your policy center. Okay, but if you don't load this, the agent will not be loaded into your local policy center. So in order to load the agent, what you do is, first thing, before you create any account, you either you take this, anything is fine. I mean, you can any of the option you can select, but the large might take some time. But generally what I prefer is, I prefer to take the small. So just click on load. Once you click on load, you will see a message here. You need to wait for some time until it is loaded, and then it will say that sample data loaded successfully. Once you get that message, it means that agent account and policies, sample account policies and producers are loaded into your local policy center. I'm not doing it because it will overwrite my data. I have already done this. Okay, once it is loaded, okay, once it is, you get the success message, then click on action and then go to return to policy center. Then you will come to the same mode, in the policy center mode. Okay. Now what did we do is, we created the account here, which is, oh, where is our, one second. We created with Applegate, right? Here, this is the account we created. Now we are on the account. Now we'll start creating a new quotation here. Okay, so if I go to action here, I mean, I told you, right, these things, just to review, review the things, what all things you want to review, you can review from here. I mean, basically the summary if you want to see. But if you perform any action, you have to go to, on this account, if I perform any action, then click on action, and then here there's something called as a new submission. New submission basically is it's a new quarterly. Some people, they call it as a new code. Some, I mean, in Guidewire they call it as a new submission. So just click here. When you click here, you will see here, right, you will see your agent detail, the agent who created your account. Then you will see that here single or the multiple policies. So here we are not, here we are going to offer a single policy here for this customer, not multiple policies. We'll select the code type. Code type we will see in this submission session, that what is the full submission. And I told you, right, there are two type of submission. One is the quick quote and one is the full submission. In full submission, we have to enter most of the detail in order to give the code to the customer. But in case of full code, we have to give very few detail. We have to enter very few detail, and then code will be generated to the customer. So we'll go with a few full code first, full submission. Now base state will be populated, and the effective date from which date this code will be effective. I mean, basically some tentative date you have to enter, but generally we enter the current date. I mean, you see the current date of the system you have to enter. Now you see there are a lot of products we see, right? The business owners, commercial auto, and these kind, there are a lot of products we see here. These product configurations are done into the product model, and it is not necessarily that all the products will come for all the agents. Okay, it all depends on these products we will see in the product model class, how these products are configured. But these products, basically it gets fetched based on the state. What is the base state you are, on which state policy you are creating, what is the effective date you are taking, and who is your agent basically. So I mean, who is your agent, what is the state, and what is the date that you are entering. Based on that, that agent will get access that which all product policies or the code this guy can create. So now we will go with this thing with by creating a personal auto code here. Okay, now just click select here. Once you select here, the first screen we see for the offering selection. So offering means, you see that there will be different options: basic program, standard program, and premium program. So offering means, now in US what happens is there are different regions also, right? And region means, US is a big the state, the country. So if they in the I mean, if they want to give, I mean, I know it's the same kind of policy what they give, but they want to give some additional coverage, or if they want to give some additional discount, right? Not discount, but if they want to give some additional features to the customer, or if they want to target the customer, let's say for the New York, because New York the customers are the premium customer. If they want to offer some additional coverage for the newer customer, they can, so then they can define the premium program. Like it's the same thing, like we take the subscription, right? I mean, just take an example of a very small subscription, right? Like Hotstar subscription, we have the premium subscription, we have the basic subscription, we have the standard subscription. In premium you will get a lot of additional feature. In basic you will get very few features. In standard we will get like medium kind of feature. Same thing they also do. If they want to offer you which kind of offering they are giving you, If they give you the premium offering, means you will get more coverages, you will get more you will, sorry your more coverages will be added. Let's say if I'm going to take a new vehicle, in the new vehicle, if you go to the insurance company, they will not give you the third party insurance. They will simply say, ma'am, we cannot give you third party insurance, you are not eligible for that. But if you take the premium membership, we will give you the third party insurance. So these are different offering they offer you, the customer, based just to giving you more options, or just basically if they want to earn more premium also from that, then they give you this offering. So for this customer, we'll go with the basic program first. We'll select the program first here. Now here there's a different buttons. We'll see one by one after the other. So just click next here. Here they will ask you the pre-qualification question. These questions are important because these questions only, based on these questions only, they decide whether they want to give you the insurance or not. So here they will ask, there are, so this is, these questions are different for the different line of business. Currently we are creating a policy for a personal auto. These questions are related to the auto business. But if I create a policy for the home insurance, then those questions will be different and it is related to your home insurance. So here it says that is the is the applicant currently insured? They are asking you whether you are already insured with any other insurance. Because if your vehicle is already insured with some other insurance, you should not take the insurance again because it is already insured. If any claim comes, you may file the claim for the both insurance, right? So in general terms, if your vehicle or whatever insurance you're going to take, if that is the risk is already covered by some other insurance company, you should not take the insurance again. So they are just taking your opinion, not taking, but they are taking the answer from here. So you will say no, uh, or if you don't know, you simply say I don't know. And if you say no, I am not taking any insurance, you say that no, the previous policy did not renew. So you say that I took the insurance, but the previous policy, I did not renew, so currently I do not have any insurance. Or if you don't know that what option I need to select, you simply say not no, I don't know that what it is. Or if first time if you're coming and taking the insurance. Now is they will ask that is the applicant license currently suspended, cancelled or revoked. So they are clearly saying that the person who are going to drive this vehicle, or the applicant, basically I am the applicant here, I'm going to not, yeah, so agent is filling the detail for you. So they will basically, agent, they will take the detail from you and they will enter in the system here. So they are saying the person who is going to drive this vehicle, if the person license is suspended, then it is very risky, right? Because if this guy license is not there and this guy is running the vehicle, it is a very high risk to give insurance to this person. So if it is not the case, you simply say no, no, my license is active and this is not suspended. Now has the applicant license ever got suspended, revoked? They're asking that in prior, like earlier also, due to any violations, accident, generally in what happens is, if you make any accident or violations, government, they cancel your license, right? For some time, like 2 years or 3 years, they cancel the license. In drink and drive case, generally it happens. If you get, I mean, people get caught in drink and drive, they simply cancel the license for 2 or 3 years, and then there is a, I think, there is a imprisonment also. So they same thing they asking, that if the license ever cancelled, then this is a high risk policy, right? If the license was cancelled earlier, this is a high risk policy. So if it is, and I'll tell you the significance also. If you say yes, then there will be a underwriting rule will get triggered for the underwriter to review this, because this is high risk to give the insurance for this person. So we will go with we will go with the happy path scenario here, and then we will select yes, yes, and we'll see what is the impact on this code. If I say yes, first just see, understand this thing, we will go with the no, 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 that you have all you, if you, because we are going to take the insurance with this insurance company. So we will say all yes here, or all no, I mean whatever is the happy path case here. Now here, any driver with convictions for moving traffic violations. So they are asking that in last 3 years, the driver you have, is there any violations are there? So if you say yes, then please, if you say yes, they will ask you that what are violations you have done. You see, there is a dependent question also they ask. If is there any violations done in last 3 years by this driver, what all violations are there? So they have to enter the detail here. Okay, now if I say no, there is no violations done. Has any policy or coverage been declined and they do not renew during? So same thing they are saying that the if you have in last 3 years, you have, if you have gone to any other insurance company and they have declined you to renew a policy, right? That they have cancelled your policy, or they have declined the policy, or they have not given you the renewed policy in last 3 years. So they're asking all those questions. But let's say if you're going to take first time insurance, you don't need to select anything. You simply say no, no, no. Now just click next. So this is the pre-qualification we have clarified. Now here basically, now in the left hand side also you can see which all sections we are covering. Offering we have selected. After offering, you see we have to enter the pre-qualification questions. After this stage, we have to come here and we have to enter the policy information. So now what agent will do is, now agent will enter the actual policy information here. So this guy can take the policy of 6 months and this guy can take the policy of 1 year also. But generally in the standard, I mean insurance industry standard, I have seen the policy generally the customer take for 1 year policy. So I'll select the annual policy here. Once you select the annual policy here, automatically you can see whatever effective date, this date you can change also. It's not you have to give the current date. You can take the policy in future also. So this date you can, yeah, and not even future. You can take the policy in the prior term also. In 2021 policy also I can create here. So there is no restriction, but it should not be expired before this date. That's the only clause here. But you can prior date policy also. Some customer they allow to create the policy before the current date also. That is also possible. Now here, once we enter the effective date, automatically it will calculate the 1 year date and it will give you the expiry date. It will say your policy contract will start from 3rd Feb and then it will get expired in next year, 2nd Feb 2023. It will get expired. Written date and all, we will see this written date basically on which date I'm writing this code. So automatically I'm today, since I'm writing the day, I'm writing the code today. So the written date will be populated here. I mean here as a current date here. So this is the code date on which date this policy is being or this yeah, this code is being written here. Now affinity group, we don't need to select anything here, but who is your producer? This producer we have already selected when we created the account. So the same producer will be auto populated here. I mean the producer who created the account, it will come from the account. It will be populated here. Now here you see that no, your underwriting company got selected here. So here you can here they have selected by default. They will give you some underwriting company, some underwriting insurance company will be selected. But if the agent or the underwriter, if they want to assign to some other underwriting company, they can still do that. So there are different underwriting companies are available. And I told you, right, load your admin data. Without admin data, you won't even see this underwriting company because these companies are loaded from the external system. Since we do not have integration with the external system, Guidewire has provided the sample data. So if you load the sample data, all these data, sample data will be loaded from as part of that load. So underwriting company will be assigned here. Somebody was asking, right, how do you know who is my underwriter? So here they will decide who is your underwriter, and then here the producer we have to select here. Now here there is a secondary name insured. I mean, whatever person you are selecting, right? I told you, right? Whatever person you select, this will become automatically. This guy will become your primary name insured, and this person is very important. You see that no here, primary name insured. This person is very important because this guy will be the owner of this policy. Whatever bill, whatever invoicing or payment or any notification, if they want to send, they will send to this guy only. So every policy will have a primary name insured, and you can clearly see this. Who is your primary name insured? You come to your policy information, and then you can change it also. If there are a lot of people, you can change also to, you can make any other person to your primary name insured. And apart from primary name insured, let's say if you want to insure your spouse, now so what you do is in the additional name insured you can select a new person and then you can add a new person here. So those people will become the additional name insured. So in the same policy contract, if you want to insure or if you want to add your spouse, your parent, or anyone who is going to drive the vehicle with you, or who or if you want to split like one vehicle, let's say you have two vehicle. One vehicle is your name, and then one vehicle is with your husband. Both the vehicle you want to insure, but your husband, you want to make your husband as a primary insured. So you add your husband here as a primary name insured here. And then for you sorry, for you yourself, you add yourself as a secondary name insured here. And then if I add here, right, let's say if I add a new person here, a lot of detail we need to enter here. We will see this scenario, I mean once we see this, the multi-user scenario. Here you need to enter the relationship. So who is the relationship, like if you already added your husband and the account owner is husband, then you will add yours, I think you add spouse or you add wife here. You put the relationship here and enter the wife detail here, that who is the other person you're going to insure. Then they will add the detail as a secondary person here. We'll go with the first scenario and then we will see the additional name will show. Okay. Once these details are entered, just click on next. Okay. Here, first thing they ask, who is your driver? So we have to enter the driver detail now here. Just click on add button. Here you can create a new person also here. If you are not the one, let's say you have a vehicle, but that vehicle you are not driving, that I mean that somebody else is driving your vehicle. You have a driver, you hired a driver, and the driver runs the vehicle for you because it's a, let's say you don't know the driving. So what you will do, you will hire a driver, and then the driver will run your vehicle. In that case, you can select a new person and you can enter the driver detail here, and it will be added. But now let's say you yourself is going to drive this vehicle and you want to take insurance for you. So what you will do is you will come to existing person and you will add yourself. I mean basically the brand will add himself here. So existing person detail, the driver detail will be added automatically here. This date of birth is important. We have to enter the date because if this driver is less than 18, then there is a it will go for the underwriting review, and it is risky to take the policy. Generally they don't give policy if the person is less than 18 years. So this date is the date of birth is very important. I have some date with me, so I'll take this date now here. Okay, so 2/11/1974. So month I'll enter here. Date here, this guy is like 60 or 70 years old. Okay, once you do that, the date of birth you enter. I know it's not a mandatory thing, but if I quote right, if I go next, it will you will get an error here because the date is important here. It will This validation is not configured on the page level. So there are two type of validation. One is on the page, which is you will see with the mandatory sign, right? Whatever mandatory details are there, we have to enter. But there are few validation which are configured on this button also, on this button. So if I click on, let's say if I mean it will not come here, but when I click on code button, right, it will trigger that the date of birth is not provided for this customer. So then we have to enter here. So there are validation we can set up. I mean the guide, I mean the guide will has set up on this button as well. If they need some detail, we have to enter in the system. Then marital status, we now will tell them this is a single guy now, and all the details are auto populated. License detail we need to enter. This is important because this guy, if this is going to take the insurance, this guy will have a license. So I took some license number also of this guy. So enter anything you enter. There's no validation as of now, so anything you can enter. You can enter 1 2 3 4 5 also, that will also work. So it's not mandatory you have to enter a proper license. Anything you can enter. Since why I'm entering it, because I got this detail from this address generator. So you see that no here. So if you want to use this, you can generate any person. If you want any, let's say if you want to generate any person contact, you enter female. If you want any person with 21 years, what is the policy you want to take, just put enter here California and then search. It will give you some detail here. Okay, if you generate right, you see that now here. Now Jennifer we got. So now you can enter the detail from here. One second. Now, okay, now what you do is here the license will be entered. Once the license is entered, you have to enter the okay. Now what you have to enter is you have to enter the state, which state you have the license for which state. So that state you, because we are going to take a California policy. So then okay, so enter the here, and the SSN number will be auto populated because we entered and when we created the account for this customer, the SSN number was there. Now all these mandatory details are entered for this driver. Then come to the next step, which is rules. Now we need to define we need to declare the other details also of this driver. Now the first thing they are asking that if the driver has completed the date completed training classes, because in US generally they don't give insurance until you complete the training. You have to go to some training and some test you have to pass, then only they'll give. So they are basically asking what date you completed the training. And this is important also. If you give this your training also, that driver training you have gone through, or the mature driver training you have, based on that you will get some discount also. I mean if you have gone through the mature driver training, it is a very advanced training, right? So these training, if you have gone through any training, or if you have attended any training, that training detail you have to enter. But these are not mandatory basically. So you I if the training is attended by this person, you have to enter the date on which date you completed the driver training, what type of training you did, it was a driver training or it was a manual driver training you completed, and what was the grade you get, like it was a good driver, good student, some grade they gave. So that enter you enter, and which year you come in which year you get the license, right? So that year you have to enter here. Let's say this guy got the license in 2010, qualifies for a good driver discount. Okay, qualifies for a good driver discount. Here you have to I mean, here, yeah, if you know that that I mean that you I mean if the agent knows that this driver, I mean, this guy is a very good driver, he does not have any violations, any history and other those things, and he has that mature driver certification also, then agent can select, yeah, this driver can qualifies for a good driver discount. Discount means whatever premium they will charge, they will give you some good driver discount also in that, and then your premium will be reduced then. Yeah, I mean, after they apply the discount, we will see in the discount class, in the rating class, when we'll see that how this discount basically it applies based on these factors. Apply a good driver discount, basically agent will select whether this is applies. If it is yes, they will say yes. If it is no, they will say no. Then apply good driver discount, they will say that whether you want to apply the discount or not, it is depending on the agent selection, and the underwriter also they decide. Excluded and do not MBR. So here this is the do not MBR. I told you, right? There's a MBR means there is something called as motor vehicle record. This motor vehicle record is a centralized database and maintained by the government of US. What they do is every vehicle history they maintain there into that system. Okay. So I mean, let's say if I whenever I enter the detail here, if I do the MVR means based on the VIN number, they pull all the detail, what all accident and what all violations you have done in this year. Everything, all the history can be pulled. So I mean, if the agent say do not order MBR means they don't want to order the MBR and they don't want to check the basically check the verify from the central database or from the government database. But in the this is just a ODB product. But I have seen in the actual customer or in actual implementation, you will see this selected, and for every customer they pull the MBR, and whatever detail you enter, they verify with the MBR record also. Because here you have to declare that in per year how many accident this guy has done, how many violation this guy has done. So here there are two level, policy level and account level. Why there are two things? Because this guy can have multiple policies also in an account level also. On one account multiple policies can be there. So here you have to declare that this guy is a very good driver, and he does not have any policy level accident, he has not account level accident, he does not have any violations also here. So this, I mean, we are just going with a happy path here. This guy is a very good driver. This number of accident is nothing. The and number of violations also it is nothing. MBR report, we'll see in the next page that how the MBR report get fetched. So second tab, the role we have to enter. Then address, I think it will be auto populated. What address on? I mean, the person address will be selected here. This is the person address, the person, and this one I was talking about motor vehicle record. So if you click here, right, in the second tab, if you click here that order MBR, right, do not order MBR. If I don't select here, automatically this MBR record will be fetched here. I mean, you will see a file here. I mean, now I'll show you after some time once we enter the detail. You will see the MBR, some MBR report will be fetched from. It is not from the actual integration, but I think some OTP files it will be fetched here. MBR record once we enter the vehicle detail. So that report you can see here how many actual violations and accident this guy has done in per year. Now I'll go next. Once I go next, then we have added the driver person detail, the driver detail who is going to drive this vehicle. Here we need to enter the vehicle detail, which vehicle you want to insure here. So now there's a create vehicle button here. Here once you add the vehicle, all the vehicle whichever you added, you will see the list here, and the vehicle detail you can enter it down. So this one we call it as a detail list view. Here you have to define the type of the vehicle. What is the type of the vehicle? So if you say it's a light truck or passenger train, you will say no, I want to insure my car. Then car option is not there, so you select other here. Now you have to enter the VIN number of the vehicle. So there is a website who generates the random VIN number. Okay, so there's a website called random VIN number. Oh, sorry, not this one. There is something called as generate a random bin number. It will give you the actual. You can match also. It is a random bin number generator. Okay, this one. Yeah, this one. Okay. So here you can here this is the random real random, but this is the real time VIN number mean this is the actual. So this first of all, if you're going to take any vehicle, this VIN number will not change. VIN number is a vehicle identification number. Every vehicle will have a vehicle identification number. That number will not change. So if you want to generate a random VIN number, you can generate from here. If you want to generate a real VIN number, then this you can also generate. So here I'll generate a random VIN number. Okay, here now this VIN number you need to copy, and then you put the VIN number here. Once you enter the VIN number, it will automatically select what type of vehicle you're going to add. You see then this vehicle the model of the vehicle is 2004. What type of vehicle and what is the model of the vehicle? What is the color of the vehicle? It all things, everything will be identified using this VIN number, because there is a system called VIN number lookup. It will be integrated in actual system, and based on this VIN number, it will be populated this detail. Here it is editable, but in actual client implementation, you won't see this detail editable, because this detail gets pulled from this pin number here. Now subtype you define it's a motorcycle or subtype. I think it comes under motorcycle only. Motor home, snow home. I think if there's a car, I think it comes under your motor vehicle only. So I'll select motorcycle here. This is a subtype. Don't confuse with that. I'll select ACD. I don't know what is the category of this vehicle. I'll select ATB. It does not have any check, but I'm just selecting this. Now here car and the vehicle license plate, if you know, then you enter the license plate number. License state is important because this is a California policy, so you have to enter the state policy here. Then garage. I told you right, garage location you have to enter that where basically you park the vehicle. Do you have the garage? I mean, even my vehicle also. I don't park my vehicle in my home because I do not have the parking space. So I give rent to a garage, and my vehicle gets parked and like 1 kilometer from my home. So this garage location you have to enter where basically you park your vehicle. So that is very important. If your home is the same location in your home also, if you park your vehicle, you enter the detail. But if you have some garage like where a lot of vehicle gets parked and you are I mean that location you have to enter, because this garage location is important, because if the vehicle is parked into a garage, it is a safe vehicle and they consider that is the risk of getting the damage of the vehicle is less. So you have to enter that location here where actually the vehicle is getting parked here. Now once you enter the vehicle detail here, you have to enter the cost. What is the actual cost? I mean, when you buy this vehicle, what was the actual cost you paid? So you will say now 12,000. I buy this car in 1200,000. Sorry, $12,000. This is the actual cost you are estimating. Not estimating, but this is the cost basically. When you buy the vehicle, what is the total cost you paid for this vehicle? So you will say that $12,000 I paid for this vehicle. Now they will say what is the state value and all, they will be calculated, because this is the cost that when you hired the vehicle, this cost was there. Now state value is, let's say if your vehicle is already old by 1 year or two, if it is a new vehicle, the cost, I mean, after the vehicle you take from the showroom, if it comes to your home, and if you go to the showroom again and you say I don't want this vehicle, your cost will be reduced. They will not give you the same money. Just a second, I don't know what my mom is going to. Okay, fine then. So here yeah, so state value basically is what is the stated value here. I mean, I know you are claiming it, this is my vehicle is like $12,000, but it is not the actual cost also for the insurance company, because if the vehicle is older by 1 year 2 year, or if it is a new vehicle, then there is some reduction will be there in the cost. So they will enter the cost that what is the state value of this vehicle. Okay, and then they will ask whether it's a leased vehicle or the rental vehicle, whether this is your vehicle or you have taken in US. Okay, sorry. So in US generally, when I was there actually, so I took the vehicle on lease, but on rent also you can take. Let's say if you're going for a short time, generally people take the vehicle on rent or lease, but you can buy your own vehicle also. So here it depends that you have to declare basically it is a leased vehicle or rent vehicle. If you have taken the vehicle on lease, you have to select yes. If it is on rent also, you have to select yes. If it is your own vehicle, you don't need to select anything here. Then length of the lease, let's say if you have taken this vehicle on lease, then you have to define that for how many months you have taken this is on lease. On lease. So those kind of detail you have to enter when you enter the vehicle detail. Here I told you, right, this is for the modifier. So when we will learn this modifier section, we will see this how the actually the discount is applied based on these modifiers. Now here it is asking that do you have the anti-lock brake discount. Anti-lock brake discount means if you have the anti-lock brake system in your car, then they will give you some discount here. Anti-lock discount they will apply. Then they have passive restraint system. There is some system in the car. If you have that, you tell them where it is. It is at the both the side. It is at the driver side. It is not there. Then they will give you some discount based on that passive restraint system. I think this is like a airbag or something. They're asking it is which side it is there. It is at the driver side, both side. I don't know if this is airbag or something else, but yeah, some feature it is there. Then they will say you have the anti theft discount. I mean, if you have the anti theft feature in your car, they will give you anti theft discount also. That what type of feature you have. You have the alarm only, you have the disabled device, or you have GPS location. Like so in I think in BMW or some car, they already have a GPS device. You cannot steal that car. If you steal also, you will get a you they have the GPS device. You can track your car. Now in advanced car, it is coming. This feature is coming. Anti theft discount feature. It is already installed in the car itself. Now after you enter all this detail, I mean, if these features are there in your car, you enter, they will give you some discount based on that. If it is not there, then here you have to enter. Let's say if this vehicle is run by different people, like I mean, there is a policy or there is a car which is runs by husband and car and wife both. Then here you have to basically define what is the percentage this guy, I mean, it's running. So here I have added only a single person, and this guy is a single now. So and this guy is himself want to insure his car. Then what is the share is? Share is 100%. This guy he is going to insure the car, and this guy is the only person is going to insure the car. And what is the share is 100% because he's saying that there is no other person runs this car apart from me. But if he add the dependent person, let's say the additional insured, his wife or his new driver, then the share will be divided. You have to properly declare that how many times you run your vehicle, how much percentage your wife runs, how much percentage your driver runs. Those kind of detail you have to declare here. So here, since there is a single person, this guy added that 100% I am the owner of the car and I run this vehicle. So this is the vehicle detail they will enter here. Once the vehicle detail is entered, additional interest, actually here additional interest basically is here yeah, so yeah, additional, let me add 1% here. Let's say this guy only I made. Yeah, so in additional interest, what we can add is we can add the people who is the, and these things we will learn. Okay, don't get confused. Who is the loss payee and this thing. These are the insurance, and these are the concept here. So if there are some additional people we want to add as a lesser or the loss payee on the leaseholder, we can add this person, add these people here on this vehicle, and then we can add certificate required and all those things. This is also you can say yes and no, and then their contact number you can, oh sorry, the contract number you can enter. If there are these kind of people involved into I mean into this vehicle section, then we enter the detail here. But let's say there is no other people added here. I mean, this is a single person we are adding here, so we do not have any additional insight for now. Now once the vehicle detail is entered, now come to the next, click on the next button. Once you enter the next button here, basically they will ask you what all coverages you want to take on which section. So I told you there are two type of coverable. One is at the policy level coverable, one is at the vehicle level coverage. So this is a vehicle policy. What is the coverable here? What is the risk here? Risk is the person and risk is the vehicle, right? There are two risks we can see. So we can add the coverages, or you can take the coverages for the person and for the vehicle. So we will see how do we add basically the coverage here. Now here you see that no, they are giving the liability coverage. I mean, and there are few in Guidewire, right? Whatever coverage you see like this, right? If it is a tick mark and it is disabled, these we call it as a required coverage. Required coverage means if this person is going to take a auto insurance policy, then this coverage is mandatory. They have to take this coverage. They cannot remove this coverage. They must have to take this coverage. There's no way to remove this. But if there are any coverage which is like this, which is this is just selected, okay, and then but this is just an option. We call it as a suggested coverage. Suggested coverage means that this coverage is suggested by the insurance company. It's up to you whether you want to take or not. So but you can unselect also. Let's say, yeah, you see that, no, if I don't want this coverage, then I'll simply unselect it. Now there is third category of coverage where you will see like this, right? So this one we call it as a so this one basically we, okay, yeah, this one is a required type of coverage they offer. This one, if it is selected, if it is selected but it is optional, then we call it as an electable type of coverage. But if any coverage which is proposed by the insurance company and if it is not selected, this one we call it a suggested coverage. This is based on the customer option whether they want to take it or not. It depends on the premium requirement. Let's say if they have a premium of, they cannot make the premium of $1,000 or $2,000 per year, based on that they can select here. So here now let's say this coverage, uninsured motorist and body. Uninsured motorist means that this is the third party insurance they are going to take, because that bodily injury means you are doing the insurance for the third party, where you, because of you vehicle somebody else got hit. And if that guy does not have any insurance, then you, they same thing saying, then uninsured motorist and bodily injury, if something goes wrong, something happens wrong to the other person. So this is a third party insurance they are offering here. Same thing, bodily injury and property damage. This is a liability coverage. So liability coverage means if any body injury happened to yourself, or if you damage any property because of your car, so that insurance they are giving. Do not confuse with this. I mean, there's 250, 500, and this thing. This is basically a different kind of limit they give. So this is basically per. I mean, this is the package limit. We call it in Guidewire language. This is the package limit. Package limit means in the one limit only they are giving you everything. Here they are, this 250 maybe for the per accident. How much they will give? This one 500 maybe the number of years in 1 year, how much they will give. And this 100 maybe this thing, it is, these definition is defined into the product model. So we will see this why this is, it is slash slash like this. Slash slash means if, let's say, if they want to define something in per accident, in 1 month how many accident, how many liability claim you can do, and in per year how many claim you can do. So they can define multiple limit. If they want to define into a single place, they define like this. You see the note here. But if it is like this, then it's a very higher limit, and they can define a single limit also for here. But this is the package limit. It is dependent on the I mean, for different criteria. Here limit, I already told you, limit, it depends. This is the maximum amount that insurance company will pay. If it is a deductible, mean that's a minimum amount you have to pay, then insurance company will pay you on top of it. So these are the coverage that this guy on the code, based on the code what they want to take. If it is if it is electable, you can take. If it is not, then you cannot take. So here this is basically the coverage we are adding. Now here, now what happens is there are some additional coverage also they are offering, right? There's something called as collision coverage, and there's something called as comprehensive coverage. So what is the difference here? Collision coverage means, here let's say if I take a collision coverage, if your car is I mean, if there is an accident, okay, on your car, then you will take the collision coverage. Then what is comprehensive coverage? Comprehensive coverage means, let's say you have a car, but the car is not damaged by the accident. Okay, it is damaged by the, let's say there is a flood, or there is a hailstorm, okay, or there is a fire. So if you just take the collision coverage, whatever amount they are going to settle for the collision, if you don't take the comprehensive coverage, if your car is, let's say there's a fire on your car, they will not settle the money, because you have not taken the comprehensive coverage. So comprehensive coverage means, along with the collision, what all other risk you see on the car. Other risk could be the fire, or could be the flood, could be your hailstorm, and any other reason, or your car is stolen. If your car is stolen, they will not give you the money, because they will simply say, ma'am, you have not taken the comprehensive coverage, you have just taken the collision coverage. If it is a collision coverage, there was no accident done on your car. Your car got stolen, and you have not taken the comprehensive coverage, so they will not give you any money for that. So comprehensive coverage comes with a lot of things, and there's a deductible also. You see that there's a 500 deductible. It means that first 500 you have to pay, and remaining amount, if it is, let's say, $200, $200, sorry, $2,000, then they will give you 1500, but 500 they will not pay you, that you have to pay. And then there is a towing and labor means, let's say if your car got stuck on a highway, then what you do generally in US, you call the insurance company and they will arrange a towing vehicle and they will tow the vehicle. They will tow the vehicle. So if you want to take the towing and labor service means who will that if something goes wrong, I mean if you need a mechanic on the highway, they will tow the vehicle to the their I mean to the sorry to the what is service center, and then they will all labor charges, everything will be included here if you want to take this. Rental reimbursement, if this is on the rent car and some reimbursement you're looking for, then this coverage you can take. Yeah, 30 days, what is the rental package you have taken, like rental reimbursement, if you're looking for these kind of coverage you can select. But let's say we will go with a very basic coverage here. I'm not going to take a comprehensive coverage for this policy because we need to see the quote here. Okay, so we'll see a collision coverage and we will see what all basic coverage they are offering. We will go with that. Now what we have done is we have entered, until we have entered the policy contract, we have entered the policy information, qualification, driver detail, vehicle detail, and the coverage detail. Now we'll click next. Now once you click next, you will see different options, right? UW issues, contingency, prior policies, claim, prior losses, and motor vehicle record. Yeah, you see that, no, motor vehicle record, but it says it is not ordered, right? It is not ordered means they are not actually, this actual integration is not there. But if it is there, then you will see for this car, right, how many accidents are there, how many violations are there, I mean everything, all the report actually you will see here. This is the government report, you can see everything here. In UW issue, this is very important. UW issues means, if, I mean before they create any code, if they want to do any review, if the underwriter will want to do any review, all the underwriting codes will come here. Let's say if I go to qualification and if I say that my license is suspended in last 3 years, okay. Now if I come to a risk analysis screen, here nothing you see, now you will see that there's an underwriting will come here. So UW issue means this is for the underwriting underwriter section. If they want to do any review, whatever code you're going to create, if they want to do any review, all the underwriting issues gets created here, and they provide their approval, rejections, or I mean anything they can do. This, the decision by the underwriter is taking on the screen. Here only they decide whether they want to accept this code or reject this code, and what all thing they want to adapt and what all thing they don't want to accept. All the decision they take here. So now let's say we are on the last page here, on the code page. This thing we will learn, we will see this. So I mean just today I'm just showing you how to create a simple code, and then we will see this in the upcoming classes. Okay, now I'll say next. Here you see the entire policy summary, whatever detail we have entered as of now, okay, in the summary. So you just quickly, what agent will do is they will simply, if they want to review the entire policy contract what they have entered as of now, they can quickly review here. So they are going to create a personal auto product. They can see who is the primary name insured, what all coverages they have added, what is the vehicle they have added, what is the driver they have added, everything they will see here. Once everything is final here on this review screen, they will simply click on the code button. You see that, no, there's a code button. Code button means they are going, now they are going to issue a code for the customer. Okay, now we'll see how it happens. We'll click on the code button. Yeah, but underwriting issue got triggered, right? Before, so even the agent now does not have access to create a code, because they see a risk here. They see that your agent license is suspended, so they cannot even generate the code. Now you click on the detail button. Once you click on the detail button, you see that, no, there are a lot of issues are there. So they are saying that there's disqualification, and they are saying that this applicant has a suspend license. So basically the insurance company is, they cannot give you the policy because your this guy they are this guy's license is suspended, and they are not ready to give the license now. Sorry, they're not going to give a quote also, because without license they cannot give any quote. And this guy, the person which I log in, the underwriter, he even does not have access to approve this quote. He cannot override that. Now here their vehicle, based on some vehicle type also, they have some validation, like vehicle type cannot be other special type of vehicle. So these kind of validation, we will see this how to set up this rule and everything. Here basically underwriter, your BA role comes very important role here. So we will see this how these rules are configured. Basically then policy center, you have to configure all this rule based on the business requirement. They will give you the business requirement, say that Veena, you have to set up this rule. If vehicle type is other, then you have to set up, we cannot generate a code, then you set up this rule. So you have to set up the rule in the system. Then here now for now, since we didn't need a code, what I'll do is I'll go to the qualification question again, and then I'll say no because I want a code to be generated. I'll come to the risk analysis again, and I'll say quote. Okay, if I click on quote, it will, you will see one quote. Yeah, now I think I have got a quote here. So code got generated now. So here you see that no, whatever policy you're going to take, here you see that no, there's a total premium got calculated, that whatever coverages you have selected, based on that you have to pay the $1,331 per year. This is the cost you have to pay. On top of it, I told you, right, there is some taxes and surcharges you have to pay. This is based on the state to state policy. If it is California, then what is the state tax and everything you have to pay, including that this is a total premium you need to pay per year. This $1,427 you have to pay per year for this code. Okay, here this, what is the vehicle you have added, that vehicle detail you can see on this code page. And here you can see the other detail, like I mean, since these are the coverages we've added. Okay, and you can see what is the effective date of the coverage, what is the expiry date of the coverage, and what is the amount of the coverage, the proportion and all we will see here later. But every coverage, what is the premium they have calculated, all the premium you can see here, and what is the total amount of the coverages you can see. And since this is the California policy, they have taken some California tax also, right? $96 some tax they are taking. And concluding everything, this is the amount which customer will have to pay. So this code will be emailed to the customer and they will say, ma'am, if you want to take this policy, then this is the amount you have to pay per year. So this is the, now we have seen the code to be entered. This is the code that we are creating in the system, and now the code is created successfully. And after this, we will see, once the code is agreed by the customer, then they will go ahead and take the policy. Now this is just a temporary. This is not the actual policy created in the system. This is just a code for the customer. This code will be emailed to the customer by agent. And once they agree with this amount, then only we will go with the next step. Then only the policy will be provided to the customer if they find with everything. Okay, if